Someone leads and someone supports, right? Because you're going to build a family that will involve other people, children, and then it will also involve relatives and all of that. But in that home, someone is the head of the home. So you being the man, at least in Christendom, where I am a part of, you you as the man is the head of the home. Because scripture says that the man is the head of the family of the woman as Christ is the head of the church.
Yeah.
Now that confers upon you the responsibility to lead.
And leadership. Yeah.
Yeah, that confers upon you. So you must know how to lead.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing you talked about is if the absence of men leading is part of the reasons we see a lot of dysfunctional homes.
Yeah. And
Yes,
conversation
that is
about submission and the conversation
yes,
about respect and all of those, you know?
yes, that is part of it. However, there's also the part of the woman. I believe that is not the conversation for today,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it stems from your decision to marry someone, to get married to someone, right? There are
Mm.
things you must look out for because don't deceive yourself. It is not everybody you can lead. It is not
Yeah.
everybody you can
Yeah.
teach.
Yeah.
Some people are not teachable.
Mm.
There are some people you cannot lead. They don't submit to leadership. It goes
Yeah.
males, it goes females. So
Yeah.
if you get married to someone who doesn't submit to leadership, you have problem. In fact, your attempt to provide leadership will be a constant source of conflict.
Mm.
So if you are doing something, the person will not see that you are trying to portray the values that you want. The person
Mm.
will see these things you are doing, appreciate them sometimes in words, and do contrary because she wants to do what she wants to do. So
Mm.
regardless of what you are doing, the person is doing what she wants to do. Regardless of what you are saying, the person is doing what she wants to do. So I think for me, leadership as a man has to come from you, first of all, being able to identify that this person shares your values
Values.
before marriage, at least. This
Mm-hmm.
person shares your values. So you must know your values.
Yeah. You
And
must.
then you provide, and you must know where you are going to. You must know what you
Yeah.
want. And then you begin to communicate these things in words and in actions.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, go
yeah,
ahead.
please go on.
Finish it. Okay,
Okay,
so for me, when people say, "Oh, you must know where you are going to," can you say it in a literal way? Know where you're going
okay,
to in what sense? Like
okay.
example of a man knowing where they are going to.
When you get married as a man, the common things you want in a home as a man is peace, right? Live in a good atmosphere, a functional home where you raise up children as God
Mm.
blesses you and they grow up in a good environment. Everything is working, your finance is working, you are doing projects, everything is going, and you live a good life, right? That is
Mm.
what you want. So basically, that is what a lot of people want. Now, if you want these things, you want to have a home where you people serve God together, your businesses are going well, your children are happy, they are doing well, they are not rascals, they are not disobedient, they are not causing problem in the society. You know that is what you want. That's a picture of what you want. You
Mm.
see young children, they behave well, they are doing well, you desire them. You want your children to be good. So
Mm.
what do you do as a man? That you are going that direction. You know,
Mm.
marriage. There's no end point in marriage until death do us part. They say,
Yeah.
right?
The
So for
destination.
as
Yeah.
long as you are alive, you want to live your life like this. You want to
Mm.
go on this pace. You and your wife being together, not divorced, not struggling, and all of that. So what do? You must come with a sound mind,
Mm.
a spirit. You see this egoistic nature. You must regulate it.
Mm.
You must be a man who listen.
Mm.
You see, in our today's society, we speaking is the order of the day. We are not emphasizing
Yeah.
listening as a skill. You must learn to listen. If you want to be listened to, you must also learn to listen because the values you portray over time will be the order of the day in your home.
Mm,
A situation where your spouse is talking to you, you are not paying attention because you are the man. Over
mm,
time, when you are talking to her, she will not be paying attention.
yeah.
Because what you have done unconsciously is to let her know that not paying attention is okay.
Mm, yeah.
Unconsciously, you have
Subconscious.
you have communicated that to her. So whatever values you want to enshrine, you want to see in your home, be the front runner of those values.
Yeah.
Be the one
I,
displaying them. So when we talk of where you are going to, it is not a definite destination. The
yeah.
going is a process, and in that process,
Mm,
there are things you want to be seeing on that
mm,
road. If you go
mm,
the other road, there are things you'll be seeing, and you don't want to see those things. So you
yeah.
want to go this road. So that's when we say you must know where you are going to, because
Mm.
depends on your direction, depends on the things you will see.
Exactly. And I think, right, quite frankly, what you've just said makes a lot of sense because if you know where you're going, you would, for example, if I'm going to the bathroom and there's something in my way, I probably just take it out of the way because I'm going to the bathroom. And I know what it requires for me to get to the bathroom. I
Yeah,
know the things I need to take to the bathroom. I will need
very
a
correct.
toilet tissue, I'll need some wipes, I'll need my legs. I cannot just sit down and imagine that I want to get to the toilet without standing up. I would
Yeah,
need to, pull my clothes. I'm just giving an example and all of that.
yeah,
So knowing where you're going to allows you to bring in the right resources that will get you there.
yeah,
Alas, when you don't know where you're going to, anything that comes in just disrupts that direction, or that anything that comes in goes because you don't have a sense of direction.
yeah,
And
very true.
I kind of agree with you because when the part where you also said where that over time your wife doesn't listen anymore because you haven't been listening, and it plays the same way with the it goes the same way with the children,
Yeah,
because when you are setting a tone in your marriage, you're not setting it for your wife alone, you're setting it for your children
yes.
eventually.
That's why you are the leader of the home.
Exactly. You set
Yeah,
the tone. When you are a good listener, you see that a lot. And just like I was teaching in our parenting community this afternoon, I said when I began to tell them, oh, you need to employ the technique, the calm technique in your parenting, style. And when people just join our cohort programs and all, and we start talking about calm, they never knew that calm is so powerful. And when they try it, you see testing. I have loads of them, like almost
that's good.
70%. Oh my God, I didn't know that calm works. So these children have just been stressing me. Oh my God, so these children like when I am shouting, I was just laughing. I was like, so the truth is, parents and people who lead in relationships and in families don't realize how they set the tone for how their relationship goes, one way or the other, without even knowing.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you in that point a lot. So I'm going to move on to the second question just as fast as possible so that we meet up with our time. So you've shared how your leadership style has helped you build strong connections with women. And that was one of the things I really wanted to hear more about. So can you give us like give me like a specific example of a time when your leadership made a positive difference in your relationship? Because you did say to me you're going to share a live experience. So please share it now. Time to
Okay.
share.
For time's sake, I'll quickly run through a situation. I've had many situations
Mm,
when I have deployed my personality as a leader to,
mm,
in my relationship. As a young boy in the university then, I was in a relationship with someone who had been in a very abusive relationship. I didn't know where she was coming from. She was the only girl um amongst four boys. She had two elder brothers and two younger ones. So you can understand the conflict from up and down with boys. So she had this, she could fight, basically, because she had it at home like that, and she was in a relationship like that with someone who they will just argue and fight. And this guy from our age, he was way older than I was then. And then we were in a relationship. And she brought that energy. And it was strange to me because I was always this chill guy. And she was always confrontational, always daring. If I don't do this, what will you do? It's strange to me. So I was like, please sit down. So she sat down. I think I was in my second year or third year. third year in the university. I said, I have observed you over time.